Our Shelby Clark chatted with Floyd Favel about the Indigenous Peoples Festival.
Joining us today is Floyd Favel, Director of Miawayta Culture Incorporated. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm very good. So the Pound Maker Cree Nation is holding their fourth Indigenous Peoples Festival this August. With the pandemic going on, what do you plan to do differently than previous years?
Well, this year, everything is online, and it will premiere August 6th and run until the 8th. So that's the main difference is just to follow pandemic protocols and safety of all our audience members.
And what exactly is all involved in this festival that you did in previous years?
This year, it's actually this is our more complete version of our festival. It's our bigger It's bigger than in previous years. We have more guests, more presenters, and it's all online. We have people from South Dakota. We have Lakota Chief Arval Looking Horse, who is a very well-known spiritual leader. You could the equivalent would be he would be sort of like the Dalai Lama. He's internationally renowned. So he did a specific interview and presentation for us, as well as Dave Korshen, a well-known traditionalist. So they're using words and stories to educate the world and people at large. As well, we have Sami theater director Osa Sema, Algonquin performance artist Emily Monet, Mohawk scholar Kahente Horn Miller, and so on. And as well as our performance, an adaptation of Uncle Vanya by Anton Chekhov, but most of it is coming from Poland. So it's uploaded scenes and imagery from Poland, where most of my collaborators live. And it's directed by Ivona Wozniak. And so that will be presented in our festival from Poland and also from our own footage shot here on Pondmaker. So that's what makes it most interesting is it's a global festival, more so than in previous years, which was very local and live.
And in the previous years, has the festival had lots of residents in the past to come and support?
Yes, it had it was the festival was in fact instrumental in the exoneration of Chief Pawmaker in 2019. As when we began this festival in 2017, that's when we began to talk about the exoneration. And we had public sessions, people talking, telling stories of their grandparents, great grandparents, and their remembrances. And there was a lot of emotions in that time. And this led to publicity for the exoneration of Chief Pawmaker, and eventually led to the formal exoneration in 2019. So it created a lot of resonance in our community, if not this country.
And for this year, do you expect this year to have more support since it's going to be online?
Yes, I believe we will have more support because the festival has changed its focus, that it's now an intercultural event. The source is indigenous in this community. Some of the footage is shot right in our own indigenous cultural stage here at the lake. But from this cultural specificity, we are inviting collaborators that are not indigenous. So it becomes global because we need to go beyond the colonial definitions of identity. So in a way, ours is truly post-colonial, and identity is defined by techniques and methods grounded in this continent, but open to all peoples.
Perfect. Well, I think it sounds like it's going to be amazing as always, even though you had to adjust to going online. So thank you so much for joining us today, Floyd.
Thank you for taking the time and interest, and everybody is welcome.